I'm going to go over three tickers starting with GIS, General Mills Incorporated. We ended the day at $53.15, down 1.26%. We are at support on the 5-minute time frame. To the north side takes us to the middle of the trend, the baseline, the median, and that is roughly 54.28. So if we go from here to here, I will anticipate this line will turn into resistance, and we could chop through here, or we could go up with this green line. And above that takes us to roughly 55.34, 55.83, and don't hold your breath for price to reach this level, 56.35 to 38-ish. If we get there, it could be a wick, and then it will flush down as people take their profits and they run. They will lock in and they will leave. Now, to the south side, another level of support takes us to roughly 52.69, and another level of support and a potential buy-in area and a potential stop-loss area as well, 52.19. This ticker looks very interesting to me as a buy. But looking left, I want to show you very quickly. This is support, a clear buy signal. This is resistance, a sell signal. Okay, and then when we go up, that's another resistance level here, and now we are at support. The 52-week low is $50.19, and we're at 53. So that's why, just price-wise, it looks highly attractive to me. So I think I will have to put in a buy order. The 52-week high is $75. Now, the 1-year price target is 54.65, and we are at 53.15. So that doesn't look like a good spread. But if you take a look at this in a long-term position, then the next target is $63, and that's an 18.53% return. So that looks good as a longer-term play. Okay, and what did I see here? On the week, up 4%. So for the year, down 15%. So we have a lot of room to go to the upside. It's been a while since I looked at this, and I'm going to just very quickly show you this on the daily. And we are turning down on the daily, the RSI, so watch out for that. Option R to reset. This is where we are, the middle of the trend basically, and that will be resistance, so it's going to take a little bit to get through this level. But the level above that, at 2 standard deviations, takes us to 61.87, and below that, 47.67. And what did the analyst say? $48 right there. There you go. If you don't look at analysts' reports, you want to figure things out yourself, well, voila, you just did it right there on your own, just looking at the chart. Nobody told you what to do, how to read it, what different things that they come out with. I don't have time for that. And I know people are not going to be happy if I say this. I don't go over fundamentals very much. And that's because I just follow what Vanguard does and all the other large brokerage firms. If it's in their fund and it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Now, what I really track is the technical analysis. Where are we within what they say the parameters for the year, the high, the low, whatever it may be, or just looking at this, look, resistance, sell-off. And then this wick took us down to here, but didn't touch this level. Sometimes it doesn't, and then a bounce. This is resistance and a sell-off. And price always rests along the middle of the trend. You can bet on that. This gap closed. This is resistance and a slam down. This I wrote out in 2023, a $70 price target, and I marked that out here, and we hit it on the 20th of March. Okay, so now we've tanked, given it all back. basically. Okay, and then let's take a look at the monthly, which is where I like to troll. And this is where I notice this. Option R to reset. So right here, institutional basing, and then explosion to the upside, resistance, falling down, and then touching this key area here, the green line that I've marked. And here's your buy line, your buy line, your sell line, your sell line. And where are we? I know it's hard to see, but we are at near -3 standard deviations, and that looks really good. Could we go lower? Yeah, the analysts say we could get down to 48. Well, where is 48 bucks? It's right about, what did I say, 48 something. So let's just say 48. Right about there. So you could just put in a buy order at 48 and see if you hit it. You may not. It could be off to the races since the big, beautiful bill passed. Not the so-called, because it's called the big, beautiful bill. You can trash it all you want. That's fine. But just call it the big, beautiful bill, not the so-called, because the so-called means that it's not named that, and it is named that. Okay, so one level to the north side will take us to 59.29. Back to the 5. Option R. All right, so this will be an area to get through right here. Now the next one I want to go over is from Trader Murat's suggestion. I'm going to go over MU because he talked about this a little while ago, back on the 1st, but I've been slammed, very busy, still very busy, but I'm doing this because I want to get this out there. I've already gone over Apple, Nvidia, and now it's time for MU. So when he talked about it, price was at 120. We slammed down, clear support, and a buy-in up to resistance. That took us to 122.07-ish, and then we climbed up all the way to 123.63, hit a day high there, and then slammed back down. And the RSI is turning up, so we could quickly go down to go up. That's a possibility. And look at the buy-in right here and the buy-in here. The 1-year price target is 150.58. That is hard to believe. Wow, 150. That's all the way. I mean, it's not even here, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. But right there, 157 is an old target that I wrote out a long time ago. We have not gotten there. And let's take, I was going to say, let's look left, take a look at it in a different time frame. But look at this. We've got a gap down there. And this one at 114 closed on June 12th. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Was it the end of the 11th? Yeah, June 12th actually. So that's no longer in play. 114, delete. It's been a while since I've gone through this one. My goodness, I stopped tracking this a long time ago, it seems. I own this stock, but I haven't talked about it in a long time. Let's go on the daily so I can see in the big picture what's happening. Option R. Okay, ignore all my markings. I have not gone through to delete this, but the lowest I think I have made a video on appears to be $58. Well, I did buy in at 81.51, so I still own those shares. So at 81.51, let's let TradingView do the math for me. 51, we're at 122.29. I'm up 50%, so very, very nice. Look at this, a sell-off right at resistance. You can bet on it. And that was frothy up here, and that was at 157.22, but the 52-week high is 137. Option R. The RSI is overextended and it fell down, but could it go up? Sure. Let's look at this. I like to look at the RSI. That helps me make big picture decisions. falling down, so price is going to fall. On the monthly, also turning down, so watch out for that. And obviously, after we got frothy, we got slammed down. All right, that is it for MU. The last one I want to go over is AVGO. Thank you to Trader Murat also for pointing this out. He's my little trading buddy here. All right, to the north side, resistance, 277.61. And I know he does the fundamentals, which I like, but don't do. I'm already busy doing this. 281.41, 285.15-ish. Let's mark the middle. See where the potential is to go to the downside. We're right there. Very close to an old line I drew out. What is that line? I drew that line out on June 10th. And look, that acted as resistance on the way up and acted as support on the way down there and bounced off that. And now we touched here. It's amazing how you can mark this out and then see what the touch points are where we use that line as support and resistance, because there are many levels in between. Because this is so close now, I'm just going to get rid of it. I don't need it. I just need one. All right. 262.84 potential buy-in, stop loss. 259.02, 255.24. Trader Murat says that we go to 320. Wow, 320. That is amazing. Let me mark that out. So I'm going to do that right here, 320. Okay. But let me change that to, oh, let's change that to a different color so I can keep track of it. I'll do it in purple, but make an, oh no, it is purple. So anyway, or maybe I'll just turn that into a white line. Let's do that for price. We've got a ways to go, but that is a potential. And he says, so we could go to 320 directly or go down about 5 to 6% and then bounce 15% from there. So check that out, do the math yourself, and mark it out so you can kind of see where support and resistance would be. 320 minus, let's just say 5% is 304. So he's thinking the range there to 304 and then bounce up. So keep that in mind. Everything may not play out just the next day, but eventually plays out. You got to give it time. And this gap that I drew out at 259.78 touched right there. Done. Congrats if you played that. And that is done also. If you can't find your there we go, toolbar there, just hit that star button. All right, and what else? Any other gaps to the north side? No. To the downside, we've got one at 229.15. For some weird reason, I am getting hungry, and I already ate. That will take us to 208.89. That should be in red. Oops. Just click on it and then change. Click on it, change. Okay, and then 193.15. Okay, this is the last one I'm doing. On the daily, let's take a look at it. What is this? I've made notes of many things. Oh, here. Market close, Jimmy Carter. I think he passed then. Nothing wrong, nothing's changing. We're down because of, excuse me, the macro environment, dollar cost averaging. That's Trader Murat's notes as well. Thank you for that tip. But we were here. When I looked at that, went down a little bit more, and then boom, up here to 243. Very nice. So there's another upward movement and then a buy here, sell buy signal. So he and I have looked at this ticker many times, but I'm just going to quickly give you the range to the upside.